whaamama avenga le nei ma le Pacific Isi mo au tupe whaamumoli Samoa a o tapu ni ai ofisa mo le whaava yasu. Whaonga nei lolna wa unanga forward ta ua o le direct transfer. A whai wa yesa membership card ma e whaonga ina le internet banking o le matua i whaingo fia lava. Na o le tipose mai lava lau se leni ni matua account o na whaatino leo la foina o lau se leni mo a inga i Samoa. E ia inga i tahu na whaamalia mo nisi whaamatalanga i le nei au nanga fo. Bala au le telefoni o valu se lau o tasi o nono po le lua fitu ono fitu iwa fitu wha. Pe text mai fo ilo suafa i le valu tolu o.
Tuvalu voucher is one of the most convenient ways that I'm finding now to do my shopping here at Farmer Joe, and my sister just sent through the voucher on my cell phone, and I just come straight here to Farmer Joe to do my shopping.
Ole si tulanga pitusili o le tau. Ole lafo me o le pepa tala o loa. Ona whaangale e whaatau o loa e au ngā mo le ainga.
I think it's really convenient for families overseas if they don't know how to help their families here. Then this is the perfect way.
Mai ai le sa suma fua tau e lesi asa sa.
Le fia foi sa we mo mawina le foi au ngā fo e ala mai le talo for voucher. Le wana whaakau ma me te mga oi ile voucher.
Tai mo le talo pa voucher ua maua le apususi o sewa fine. So se paro loa whaingo fie a me se le te whelua i mana o telefoni tai mi uma. Ai lo le lafo me le cash o na inu e leo tamao le ainga.
Whapea tu lava le talo for voucher mo le foi au ngā fo whaatai. Ma loa lava le taumpai.
Tai talo pa voucher. Teki talo pa voucher.
Talofa! And happy Tuvalu Language Week. Yes, it's Friday, so happy Friday, everyone.
Yay, and we made it.
We made it. That's it. Guys, we're into the weekend. And look, check out our new glasses. How do you enjoy our new look? Because I'm loving it. We've had a lot of screen time lately, doing a lot of research, and it's a little bit of a strain on the eye, and plus checking out that eye candy.
Now, because it is Friday, and you know, we're going to have a great time on the show today. Yep. And I actually came across two news articles that I actually wanted to share with you because I thought it was so funny. I know, this is actually really funny. So the first one I came across was an Indonesian man has, and hand on heart, you can go on Google and Google it yourself. An Indonesian man has married his rice cooker.
Oh my gosh, I saw that. I did. I read that this morning.
But after 4 days, his marriage to his rice cooker only lasted 4 days because he divorced his rice cooker, and in his vows, he said, white, quiet, perfect, doesn't talk much, good in cooking, a dream come true. Without you, my rice is not cooked. But 4 days later, he divorced his rice cooker, saying that the rice cooker could only cook one dish, and that was a deal breaker for him.
You know, I actually did read it, and it was interesting. I was thinking, why on earth would someone marry a rice cooker? But I was thinking to myself, actually,
why not?
Why not? It makes sense. Easy. It's you know, not complicated.
No.
You just turn the rice cooker on. It says yes. It cooks. And I will leave it there.
But my second funny news article piece that I read was about a 50-year-old Turkey man living in Turkey. He went out drinking with his friends one night, didn't come home because he stumbled into the forest drunk, and his wife and his friends were really concerned about him. So they sent out this whole entire search party. Now, in the middle of the search party, they don't know how or when, but the drunk man actually came across the search party and was actually helping the search party look for him until like a couple of hours later when he realized, he was like, wait, why are we looking for me? Because I'm here.
That's hilarious. Honestly, it's Friday. Why not share? Actually,
I thought
can you
it was really
imagine that?
I'm just picturing like a older man just like in the middle of a crowd going, I'm here.
I'm here, guys. Stop looking for me. But can you see that? You know what? And imagine if that was the wife in the background going.
Well, his wife and his friends were like looking for him, and they were in the search party, and no one had realized that he was there, and he didn't recognize his friends either. So I don't know. It's really bizarre, but really funny.
Men, you can't live with them, and you can't live without them sometimes. Goodness. There you go. Go find yourself.
Find yourself a tricky man.
It is also Mental Health Awareness Week. And this week on the show, we have been sharing some nice, kind words, and we've gifted each other with some presents. Yes. And today I have got a special gift, which isn't actually from, it's actually from some.
You.
Yeah, it is from me. So I've actually bought Claudia a hot chocolate.
Oh my God, I know. I feel so spoiled today.
To support local businesses, we went to our dear friend next door, Lisa, who makes the best coffee. And we've actually been gifted some funafunas, which is a Tuvaluan dessert. And this was gifted from Misa Lema to my auntie Faitalia and also to Mele, who of course then gifted it to the girls here on Blue.
Thank you so
Table
much.
Talanoa. So we're going to enjoy these also. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So we're going to taste this as well. But man, it's been a good week, right?
Oh, it's been so good. And
We've been celebrating Tuvalu Language Week. We've been supporting local businesses, which is very, very important. I know that our special guest yesterday stressed how important it was to support the 5 million here in New Zealand. Don't forget, support your local. Here at BluTable Talanoa, we love to support local. And I know Martin as well called yesterday. Martin Ala said, hey, Pea, I really want to support local businesses. Can you please, one of your guests you had on your show previously, Soul Jules Delicious.
yes, you got it.
And they've just ordered a massive meal from Jules. So massive shout out to everyone that's supporting local. Should we give these a go as well?
But you would never ask.
Here we go. Well, guys, we're just going to enjoy Funa. And I will ask our special guest straight after this. So this is it.
I'm so happy now.
It's kind of almost like a German bun, I think, a salmon. But this
it's
is
still warm as well.
It's warm. It's got jam inside, and
I bet you the rice cooker couldn't cook this.
no, don't marry a rice cooker, guys.
But let's see. Wow.
That's good. That's really good,
I think we should go on a break.
guys.
Oh, it's really good. Oh, it's like so fluffy. Oh, it's good. But it is Tuvalu Language Week, and it's been so much fun. And I believe you've got the last Tuvalu word that you're going to teach me today.
Yes, I do. The last and final word, it isn't actually a word that's on the Ministry of Pasifika People. It was celebrated, it was used last year, and the word is loto, which is heart.
Because you're my heart. Because you're my loto.
You are my loto, Claudia. My
Feeling
loto.
the
There you
love
go.
on BluTable.
So guys, yeah. That's it. Wherever you go, please show a little loto, show a little bit of heart. Just remember that we are all facing some really, really tough times right now. We are still in level 3 lockdown. So please, here we go, guys. Yes. My favorite part. We're going to go in short break. And then we're going to bring our special guest on. But remember, guys,
stay in your bubble.
Stay tuned, guys.
Whakatau tukuingoa ko whakatokanga na moto, ako ni Hawaii I'm studying Bachelor of Applied Science in Marine Science at the University of Otago. Today's fact of the day is that a small island nation made a significant contribution to science from 1896 to 1898 when a boring expedition proved Darwin's theory of coral atolls formation from remains of volcanoes. Whawhtailahi kai ke manuia te waia ho te ngana Tuvalu, mai whānau a konga Tuvalu kane i Otago.
Talofa! And welcome back. Oh my gosh. That's what happens.
All right, I got you.
That's what happens when you enjoy a funa while on break, still trying to talk. Take it away, Claudia.
I just mentioned before the break, I mentioned a 50-year-old drunk, is it Turkish man? Yeah, 50-year-old Turkish man who wandered off into the forest and actually stumbled across his own search party. And helped the search party look for him. And our friends from Half Measures actually said, at least he was a happy, helpful drug. And you know, that's so true. That's a lot more to say than most drugs.
Yeah, so, yeah, I wouldn't, you don't find those around here often, right?
No. But guys, what an awesome video from MPP that was just played. And on that note, we do have a very special guest today, don't we?
Yes, we do. We have the wonderful Louisa, who joins us from Ministry of Pacifica People. And, you know, before we bring her on, man, I just wanted to say a massive, massive congratulations and a thumbs up to the team at Ministry of Pacifica People, because even though we were on level 4, level 3 lockdown here in Auckland, nationwide, Ministry of Pacifica People have been working back to back tirelessly, trying to bring all of this, the language week together. And I tell you, it's a very difficult thing to do while you're on lockdown. I mean, can you even try and consolidate all of these videos from Dunedin, from Oamaru, from Auckland, and make sure that it's on time, played for our viewers every single day?
That's nuts, because I mean, I was just telling Pea before off air that I went to sleep this morning at 4:30 because I was doing some work, and that was one night this whole entire week, and I'm absolutely just gone. But MPP and Martin, our big boss out here at Blue Wave, they've been going to sleep at 3:30 every single day, just pumping out graphics and work for language weeks. And also, I think at one point they're getting like 200 emails per day, just back and forth. I'm doing all this. So how lucky that we have such an awesome, great team supporting our Pacific people and sharing the beauty that all these different languages have to offer.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of work. And we have today the wonderful Louisa that's going to join us. Louisa, talofa, how are you?
Alofa, Kolua, Pea and Claudia, and thanks so much for having me on your podcast today. Doing well in my bubble. Just out here in West Auckland, but a blessing to be part of the show today.
Oh, it's an absolute honour to have you join us both today. Look, before we get into it, normally we do a trivia, but I'll just let you quickly introduce yourself, and then we will get into a little bit of a trivia with you, please, Louisa.
Thank you. Whakatala whātu tōku ingoa ko Louisa Vaeluaga. O ku mātua ko mātala niu atui mo Vaeluaga Josefa. Au se te māwhine mai nuku lailai, nuku whetao mo niu tau e nā tahu in toke lau. My name is Louisa Vaeluaga. My parents are Vaeluaga Josefa and mātala niu atui. And the whenua that I come from in Tuvalu, nuk whetau, nuku lailai, e niu tau, and also from Atahu and Tokelau. Haftai.
You know, Louisa, just going to say, when you speak Tuvalu, it just sounds so like smooth and sexy, like the waves crashing on the ocean. I'm just going to say that.
Oh, that
Not
is
always
it.
the case.
The Tuvaluan goddess.
Yes.
Oh,
But Louisa, I liked how you mentioned that you are keeping in your bubble, because we are still at level 3, and it is so important that everyone that is watching stay in their bubble. But I also just bring that up again, because what do you think of our bubbles that we've been kind of incorporating this week?
We've had so much fun doing this.
Just
Such
a
a
reminder
vibe.
that everyone stay in their bubble.
Oh, it's been an awesome idea.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a good reminder.
it is. And the term bubble that Jacinda came up with, that was pretty amazing as well. I'm sure Martin will agree, eh? Martin? Jacinda, you did it again. Bubble.
But Louisa, we do have some trivia questions for you. Not too hard, nothing too complicated. But I will start with question number 1. Now these are gonna be not as complicated because Pea put these questions together, so nothing too fair. Are you ready for your first question?
Go for it.
Okay. Question number 1. Where is the island of Tuvalu located?
Oh my gosh, am I supposed to know like coordinates or something?
No, no. We're talking about like I guess like the ocean. It's in the continent.
Okay. Yeah, so it's in the Pacific Ocean. I think north of Fiji. So
Wow.
we tend to fly from Fiji to get to Tuvalu.
Do you know how you have like your A+ students and then your A+++ students?
You're the A++ student. Well done, MPP. You've done a good one there. You hired the right one. Question number 2. What was Tuvalu formerly known as?
The Gilbert and Ellice Islands, or Ellice Islands for Tuvalu. and
You are
Gilbert.
on a roll, sister.
I love it.
Well done.
Correct.
That's 2 for 2. Now, question number 3. True or false? Tuvalu is the biggest island in the world.
False. However, I would argue that we do have some of the biggest hearts. So if we count it in that aspect, I guess.
Let's just wrap up the show. That's a good note to end on. That's a beautiful answer.
I totally agree with you. 100%. The smallest island, but the biggest heart. Love it. Stop it. I'm going to cry now. Question number 4. Which of the following words mean youth? Whakamanuia, ngali, o talavau?
Talavau.
Yes, and I knew this too because you taught me this word the other day.
Yes. Useful. Talavau.
Now, question number 5 and final answer. You do have 4 for 4. So question number 5 is true or false? Mauto means adult. Now, I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly.
Sorry, what was your translation?
Mautu means adult. True or false?
False.
Correct, but what does it mean? Do you know?
Like mautu, like you're holding fast, or you're steadfast in your faith, or sometimes I guess I've heard it in that context.
5 out of 5 with extra brownie points.
Correct. And I just want to add that as a New Zealand born part Tuvaluan, I actually learnt that word from one of the weekly phrases that have been put forward by the Ministry of Pasifika People. So once again, I just do want to say congratulations and a massive thank you to the Ministry of Pasifika People, because I would never have learnt this word if you hadn't put this initiative together. So thank you so much, Ministry of Pasifika People.
It's good to hear that it's been received well on your end, Pea.
Look, it must, we've already seen the hard work that you have yourself, the team have, every single night. Well, before we get into the questions, talk us through a little bit about that as well, the background or the back end of the language weeks.
I think before I mentioned the back end, like there's a lot of people involved that are part of everything that happens behind the scenes. And I also just want to acknowledge Martin and the team at Blue Wave, because they've been a big help for our ministry comms team as well, and our supporting staff members who are also supporting the space. So definitely it's a team effort, and yeah, lots of late nights, but if I think about the efforts that the communities are also putting into the work, what's a late night for us when they've been, doing how many hours throughout their nights and their days as well to enable us to have amazing content. But yeah, lots goes on behind the scenes.
Definitely. Now, Louisa, you are obviously a very highly intelligent young lady, and you're absolutely gorgeous. We all know the hard work that MPP put into everything they do, but I'd like to hear from you why you thought that MPP was the right fit for you.
Thanks for the question. I came through MPP through an internship program, I think going on to 2 years now, and I had always been quite interested in this space, although my degree was in something completely different, I guess. But it was the service for our communities that really interested me into, I guess, exploring options or opportunities through MPP. And also the people are really awesome here. It is very much like a family, and a supportive family. And so, yeah, I think that's kind of what brought me into this space, and yeah, I'm lucky to be in this space at the moment.
It's almost like you're describing the family culture vibe that we have here at Blue Wave, so that's awesome.
And I was just about to say, you know what, you're working alongside so many other Pacific nations. It must get quite competitive over there, because I know that someone's like, "Whai mua me Samoa," then do the Tuvalu, and then do the Cook Islands. So it must get quite, which is actually a really good thing, because the group and the family kind of oriented, they're fighting to make sure, not fighting, but they're making sure that everything is for they're fighting for their people and making sure that everything is done with a big, massive tick. People say, and I love that. But with yourself being a part of the awesome team there at Ministry of Pacifica People, what do you wish to achieve while you're here, while you're there at Ministry of Pacifica People?
There are a couple of things that I'd like to achieve. One is really bringing to the fore the voices of the communities that I represent, because I'm very mindful that I'm in a privileged position here at the ministry, and there are a lot of people who would rely on us, or there's many of us, by the way, and when I say many, I say there's at least 5 of us Tuvaluans here in the ministry now. So I just want to acknowledge them as well. But for us, there's an important role that we have, not only like bringing forward the voices of our people now, but also, I guess, informing our young people or others who are interested in the space that, there's potential pathways into this area, because I think representation is quite important, and ensuring that, our people have voices here at MPP as well.
Oh, that's beautifully said, Louisa. Now, I'm just going to deviate for a short minute. I just want to say a huge shout out to Fighter Leah, who's actually tuned in, and I just want to say a huge congratulations again to her, because she won the $50 meal voucher yesterday for Ika Bowl. So well done. And I just wanted to say that prior to yesterday, I had always loved Fighter Leah because she's tuned in every day. She commented, she shared, and I loved her support. But then I found out yesterday that she's actually Mele's mum, and I was like, oh my God. And Mele is also a huge supporter of us. So, I'm so stoked, Fighter Leah, that you won that $50 voucher. And I also want to say hi to Shiloh and Rosie and Asiata that have also tuned in. But Louisa, we all know that it's Tuvalu Language Week, and it's been a blast. We've certainly been enjoying it thoroughly. But can you please explain to us what the purpose is behind each language week, and what does MPP want to achieve with these?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think, it's also open for interpretation for each of our community groups, because for some it might mean something completely different to others. But I guess from my standpoint is that it's an opportunity for our communities to showcase who they are. And whilst it is a week long initiative, the hope is that we can encourage or our communities are reinvigorated to connect with their culture, but it's also an opportunity for others who aren't, say, Tuvaluan, for instance, to learn a bit more about Tuvalu. And I appreciate you both also embracing our Tuvalu Language Week, and it's been awesome to see our wider society here in Aotearoa also giving it a go, like learning a couple phrases. And I think I saw one of the schools this morning singing the Tuvalu National Anthem. So those are kind of the things that, just like, it's really heartwarming. But in terms of the purpose, I guess overall, it is that opportunity for our communities to really showcase who they are, connect with their language and our culture, but also invite others in the community to learn a bit more about who we are.
And I love that, and I have to agree, because Claudia has we've seen high volumes and massive energy coming through from the Tuvalu community, even in lockdown. Man, the community have been awesome, and I've never actually quite experienced so much energy on newsfeed come through from from the Tuvalu community. So it's awesome. It's really, really awesome to see. But, in saying that, has these language weeks increased, our community's desire to learn more and more about the language and their culture? And if so, what is Ministry of Pasifika People actively doing to kind of assist that, moving forward?
Thanks for your question. I think, I guess I'm having this interview in my professional capacity, so I won't speak on behalf of our community, and I'm sure that they will have their own personal experiences. But from what I've observed, the Language Week here in New Zealand provides an opportunity for also our Tuvaluans who are New Zealand born, who may not have had the luxury of being surrounded by the language and the culture back in Tuvalu. But it's also an encouragement for our families to remind ourselves of the importance of passing on that knowledge to our younger generation, so to ensure that it survives. In terms of the second part of your question around what the ministry is doing, the Language Weeks is not the only initiative that we carry out to support our Pacific languages and cultures here in New Zealand. We do also have a bit of work happening in the background in terms of engagements across our communities. We also have funding that's available for our communities to access, and that's to really try and encourage the longer term sustainable use of our languages or connecting into our cultures. And that's accessible throughout the whole year. So while we do have the Language Week, and it's a great way to get that burst of energy and maybe inspiration or motivation to reconnect, we hope that, throughout these other initiatives or supports that are available, our communities are also supported throughout the whole year, not just within the week. But yeah, I just wanted to add that. And so just to reiterate that, our ministry, the role in our ministry is important, but I really want to acknowledge the community groups that we work with, if I can, because it's through them that we just play the role in being able to facilitate some conversations or provide a platform. But the grassroots work that's actually being done in trying to ensure that our communities have access to the language and culture I just want to like give a big ups to our community groups and our providers that we work with, because it's through them that, we are able to have this type of initiative.
Now, Louisa, yesterday on the show, Ben and I, we actually mentioned to each other that even though Tuvalu is probably one of the smaller islands, the amount of love that comes from every Tuvaluan person is just so immense, and everyone's just so proud of their culture, and we love them for that. And we also love our viewers, and Melly has just actually informed us that today is actually Tuvaluan Independence Day.
Yes.
So happy Tuvaluan Independence Day. What an honor to even be able to have this show today and to be talking to you, Louisa, on Tuvalu's Independence Day. So thank you so much, and I hope everyone is thoroughly enjoying themselves today. But Louisa, do you think that second generation and third generation Tuvaluan families that no longer live on the island, do you think that they should still learn the language?
Thanks for your question. I think it's important, and I think if I can just clarify that I myself am no expert. I don't want to claim to know 100% our language and our tūmo whaiwhainga whakatūwalu, but it's a learning process for everyone, and we're all at different stages of our journey. And the importance that I see is, from my experience at home, the Tuvalu language was my first language in home, and then, as we tend to move through education that then kind of like deteriorated. But it's important for me when I am trying to connect with my grandma, for instance, to understand what she's saying, but also the stories that she's sharing. So in a general sense, like with your question around the second and third generation of Tuvalu families, I think it's important that we continue to I guess hold that responsibility. But there's a lot of support available out there as well, and that different resources and mediums that we can try and enable that to happen. But definitely supportive of that, ensuring that our second and third generation Tuvalu communities have that opportunity, especially because we are here in New Zealand and we don't have the luxury of being surrounded by it all the time in Tuvalu.
And I love that you've called it a luxury, and it definitely is, and I'm so bummed that I am unable to. Well, sorry, not unable. There is the option of me trying to learn, but I did mention to Fala as well on the interview on Wednesday. I am part Tuvaluan, however, my Samoan side is very, very dominant. And that's because, everyone speaks in Samoan. I understand Samoan. But in your opinion, and just in your experience, is there anything or any advice that you can give to someone like myself, New Zealand born Samoan, part Tuvaluan, that you can give me? So I am keen on learning the Tuvaluan language, but it's quite difficult for myself because my Samoan side is very, very dominant. My dad is my mum is full Samoan and my dad is part Samoan. So you can obviously see which side is gonna obviously always be dominant. Do you have any advice for someone like myself, and just to moving forward, how we can ensure that that part of Tuvalu that's in our hearts will survive the next generation?
Oh, thank you so much for sharing your story, and great to know that you're also Tuvaluan. So we're going to claim you as Tuvaluan. But I think for that particular scenario, it's good that you have that understanding of your Samoan language, because if you think about learning a new language, if you don't have sort of a basis to compare it to, it can be quite hard. But the Samoan language is quite similar to our language. I guess I would advise, to take up opportunities to be surrounded by family members who are speaking the language, and also being involved in or taking up opportunities to be immersed in spaces where the language is being used, because it's almost going from one phase of listening and hearing to then speaking, and sometimes that transition can be quite hard. But I think if you are immersed in an environment where you're able to listen, and then hopefully you'll be then able to speak it. The other thing is that we are in a digital space now, and my hope is that a lot of the content that's been created by our communities, who, it's their knowledge that they've blessed, that we've been blessed, that they've been able to share with us, that can also be used as resources. So having those opportunities now that we are in this kind of digital space at the moment, there's also a lot of that content, that you can review again and try and pick up some of the words that have been said. Some of the content also has translations and subtitles that might also help you understand what's being said as well.
So what I'm hearing, Bear, is that you have no excuse not to learn Tuvalu. But Louisa, it's been an absolute honor having you on the show today. And we know how busy you're working. So, we thank you so much for making time out of your really busy day. And we have Shirley, who's just commented saying, love your work always, sis Louisa. So before we wrap up the show, Louisa, do you have any final words of encouragements or any shout outs that you want to make?
I think the first shout out that I want to make is just to all the community groups that have been driving this initiative, not only here in New Zealand. We've seen others overseas take part, and even just across all the language weeks. I'm very proud to see all the work that's been done. And if there's anyone who is struggling with identity issues or just feeling that sense of connection, I would encourage you to take part in learning a bit more throughout these language weeks, and just giving it that first go, taking that first step. And there's a lot of support available for you.
Thank you so much, Louisa. Now, before I hand it over to Bea to say her final remarks, I'm just going to quickly read the COVID update for today, guys, before we head into the weekend. Today, we have 19 new cases in the community of Auckland. There are no new cases in managed isolation. This brings a total of 1,268 community cases, all linked to the current outbreak, and 23 cases in hospital, 4 in ICU. So remember, guys, to stay in your bubble. Oh, damn it. That was my chance.
That was so cute. Once again, thank you so much, Louisa. Whawhetai lava. Thank you to yourself and to the village there at the Ministry of Pasifika Peoples for your work that you continue to do daily. The late nights, we understand that it's not an easy job, but we do appreciate, like myself, a New Zealand-born Samoan Tuvaluan girl who still struggles with the language. I just want to say thank you so much. And also a massive shout out to all of our sponsors who continue to show so much love and support. A massive shout out to Pacific 40, Pacific Money Transfer, Maoto Samoa, Seki Works, the Pacific Business Hub, and of course Say Oriana, and to all of the businesses who continue to show love and support for the team here at BLU TV. Louisa, once again, whawhetai lava for your time. What an honor to have you here on the show. But that's it from us, and to all of the viewers, thank you so much for tuning. I'm just getting my bowl ready.
Have a great weekend, and remember to stay in your
in your
bubble.
See you later. See you later, guys.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Lassie.
Tau tua male au nanga mo tau sa mo service station ni tona matu. Matu tau tuina lo ta vale, male tele unisio matu au nanga ise.
ai le ngata foile ma to te se ke ina fo ilo tavan ma to te sapala ya fo iswa mo lo tavan a fai fo vai pa olosa a wala te poli ma to te sapala ya fo e mo lo tavan molo no posila fia mua tapela uta vale pe out lua tapela o telefoni il time utu ina ila uta vale male vaenga mulu mana tua fo e matua I fa sa ina lo ta mafta pa ai no fuanga fa pe Mota Samoa, ore mota mo Samoa. Ma te fia e au una pe mo o Samoa. Maftaila fia mai. We'll see you again. God bless.
O le whaamama awenga le nei ma le Pacific Isi mo au tupe whaamumoli Samoa a o tapuni ai ofisa mo le whaawa yaso. Whaonga nei lolna wa unanga forward ta ua o le direct transfer. A whai wa yesa membership card ma e whaonga ina le internet banking o le matua I whaingo fia lava. Na o le tipose mai lava lau se leni in mato account o na whaatino leo la foina o lau se leni mo a inga I Samoa. E ia inga I tahu na whaamaleina. Mo nisi whaamatalanga I le nei au au nanga fo. Wala au le telefoni o walu se lau o tasi o nono po le lua fitu ono fitu iwa fitu wha. Pe text mai fo ilo suafa I le valu tolu o.
Tuvalu voucher is one of the most convenient ways that I'm finding now to do my shopping here at Farmer Joe, and my sister just sent through the voucher on my cell phone, and I just come straight here to Farmer Joe to do my shopping.
O le si tūlanga pitusili o le tāu. O le lafo me o le pepa tala o loa. O na whaanga le e whaatau ai o loa e au ngā mole ainga.
I think it's really convenient for families overseas if they don't know how to help their families here. Then this is the perfect way.
Mai ai le sa sunga fua tau ai le sia sa.
Le fia foi sa we mo mawina le foi au nang fo e ala mai le talo for voucher. Le wana whaakau ma me te mga orai. Ile voucher.
Tai mo le talo voucher ua maua le apasusi o sewa fine. So se paro loa whaingo fie a me se le te wherua I malau telefoni taimi uma. Ai lo le lafo merkes o na inu e tamao re ainga.
Whaptea tu lava le talo for voucher mo le foi au nang fo whaptai. Ma lua lava le tampai.
Whaptai talo voucher. Teki talo voucher.
Squad, baby. Rex, J Sands.
Let's go.
Oh, say I'm say you are complete to me, I get you. By the way that you move and the way that you smile. Say, oh my Dorima, baby, you be giving your hand, I'll take you anywhere. You give me something that I never had. Cause you care, but about to me and the family. Say, why you waiting on me to talk to you? Yeah, I'ma listen what y'all say. Yeah, don't move out in the come here. Yeah, they on the layout, oh, dirty wine, girl, dirty wine. Yeah, say, tama in and not the bite, say.